Now, I may not look it, but I am actually a professional. And I am neither a borrower nor a lender of this title. No, I am the sole proprietor, and I refuse to budge an inch from my throne, for jealousy is the green-eyed monster, and I say we should let that monster live. But I digress. I warn you, this topic is not for the faint-hearted. My topic is the be-all and end-all of all modern contemporary literature. So now I must break the ice, releasing you from your bated breath prisons. Without further ado, I present to you the brave new world of Pinocchio. Originally released as a short story in 1883 by Carlo Collodi, Pinocchio begins with the old carpenter Geppetto as he creates a marionette puppet out of nothing but wood. He slowly carves away at the log, revealing the puppet inside. And incidentally, as good luck would have it, when Geppetto finishes Pinocchio's feet, the game is afoot quite literally. At the crack of doom, Pinocchio jumps up and runs away. Geppetto pursues Pinocchio on a wild goose chase, ending in his own imprisonment, leaving Geppetto in a state of cold comfort after being hoisted with his own petard. In his grief, Pinocchio returns home to Geppetto's house, but knock knock, who's there? If it isn't Jiminy Cricket and his heart of gold. I warned you what would happen, Jiminy comments. Pinocchio, in a fit of rage, proceeds to kill Jiminy. For goodness sake, he was dead as a doornail, Pinocchio. Now, why would you do that? Alas, 'twas a foregone conclusion. He had to go. As always, all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Though I still can't, in my heart of hearts, see why Pinocchio would do that. He may not have been aware of the severity of the injuries caused to Jiminy, because conscience does make cowards of all of us, but that is one question we may never know the answer to. Pinocchio then leaves, ignoring the advice of all of his friends, now feeling fancy-free and as merry as the day is long. Meanwhile, a conniving cat and fox duo were in search of an impressionable victim, and as good luck would have it, Pinocchio strolled by, and Pinocchio happened to be the impressionable victim they were looking for. They attempt to befriend him in order to steal his 5 gold pieces, but Pinocchio inadvertently killed them with kindness, for he could not see that they were attempting to appropriate his belongings, because love is blind and Pinocchio needed friends. So he put his heart on his sleeve. Alas, he refused to budge an inch with his approach, forcing the thieves to take a different approach. At night, they dressed as assassins and hanged Pinocchio. The story has come full circle. Good riddance. The original story ended here, and was a warning to kids about bad behavior. Eventually, due to popular demand, Collodi was coerced into writing a happy ending, and so the story continues where we left off, at the hanging of Pinocchio. And although they did try to kill him, we must give the devil his due. The thieves were cunning, concise, and enticing, and, as I like to say, brevity is the soul of wit, so give them that. But they were still the devil incarnate. Or were they? Because the crack of doom has not yet come for Pinocchio. At the last moment, the fairy with azure hair saves him. She asks why he was there, and Pinocchio, lying about his gold pieces, argues he was more sinned against than sinning. Because Pinocchio lied to the fairy, his nose grew longer and longer with every lie. They go their own ways, and eventually Pinocchio is robbed of his gold pieces, and he has well and truly experienced a livelong day, full of such terrible things. He runs into the fairy with azure hair again, and she takes him in as her son, turning him human, showing the true milk of human kindness. But not gone were the days of Pinocchio's playing fast and loose. He returns to school and is led astray, following a friend to the land of toys, and in return for wearing his heart on his sleeve, Pinocchio is turned into a donkey and becomes a laughingstock. He is sold to the circus, drowned, skinned, and turned into a drum, then turned back into a marionette puppet. Now someone must have cried havoc and let slip the dogs of war, and although I know no one should have to go through that in my mind's eye, I wonder if maybe he did deserve it. Now for Geppetto. Alas, a fate had befell Geppetto that would set anyone's teeth on edge, including Pinocchio, for much like Geppetto before him, Pinocchio was swallowed by a giant shark in one fell swoop. Geppetto hadn't eaten in so long, he was so hungry, he could have eaten me out of house and home. He had been in the shark forever and a day, and although they were both inside a shark, they were reunited, for it is ill wind which blows no man to good. Pinocchio saves Geppetto from the shark's stomach, and begins taking care of him.
The fairy with azure hair sees he is changed and turns him into a real boy, the ending being a dish fit for the gods.